everybody. This is House Talk with ZET and the Dome. And my name is ZET, aka Colorado's Rockstar Realtor. And as always, I am here with the fantastic Mike Benton of Benton Capital, aka the Dome. And we just wanted to jump on today, see how everyone's doing. Wish you guys a wonderful week and hope you're having an awesome Tuesday so far. And we had a little bit of information to share with you.
Absolutely, man. Hey, I wanted to come to you guys and kind of give you some background and some foresight on what's going to happen. You know, what's everybody talking about real estate wise in 2023? What are some of the forecasts? And without our crystal ball in hand, what are things going to look like in 2023? So a lot of different predictions out there, but this year more than any that I've seen in recent past, there's been some consistency to what's going to happen, right? There's a lot of volatility in the market last year, as you know, Zach, both locally and nationally. I mean, with interest rates starting out the year in the high twos, low threes, and ending the year in the mid sixes, I mean, that is the biggest jump we've seen in decades, if not ever. So this year, I think we'll have a little more consistency in rates. Realtor.com's chief economic advisor, Young, predicts that interest rates will be in the neighborhood of 5.5% to 6%, which will provide some consistency this year with markets. The bad news for lenders like us is most forecasts are predicting about 1.7 trillion in loan volume, total loans closed, when last year we closed about, the final figures aren't in, but upwards of 2.1, 2.2 trillion. So that's a drop in loan volume. So similar with sales volume, a lot of the consistency and a lot of the picks we're going to be down about 7% in total real estate sales for a number of different factors, right? That, like, one thing is, if you have a 4% interest rate and let's say rates are at 6 today, the hard thing for sellers to understand is if they don't know about buy downs and things like that, they may say, hey, well, we just want to hold on to our 4% and we're gonna wait, right? So that puts us in a little bit of a pickle in regards to inventory levels and having people move up or move out of their homes. So I think across the board, it looks like inventory will be tight. Inflation is still a real risk. We have CPI numbers coming out on Thursday. If they continue to come down, maybe the Fed will slowly stop raising rates. We saw a big increase in short-term lending last year. It looks like this Fed meeting looks like they're talking about a 25 to 50 basis point increase, which is still less than 75 or 100. So we'll look and see what that happens, right? The other big outlier is, hey, the big questions that and myself, we both get a lot is, are we in a housing bubble? Where is the recession? Is the recession coming? Are we going to have a hard landing or soft landing? And I think across the board, my personal opinion is, we're going to continue to see a softer landing this time. We've done different seminars on the difference between 2010 and today, and there's just so many things that are driving the market. More people are turning 33 now, and in that buying age category, having families, that we're not going to see the same thing we saw in 2010. And with the inventory being so tight, there's less likely of this big drop in price. So with the number of units predicted to be about 7% less than last year, pricing remains stable because of inventory remaining tight and interest rates remaining steady. I think all in all, we're looking for a normal year, without the crazy volatility that we had in rates last year and the crazy volatility and spikes we had between 2020 and 2021.
Yeah, absolutely. Such a great point. I think that we really saw the big drop. We saw the big crash, if you will, the big price reductions, the values coming down. And I don't think we're going to see the volatility that we saw last year. And I think you really made a good point about what we're going into this year, what to expect with that volatility kind of calming down. I think as that volatility calms down, people are going to get more comfortable with the rates as they stabilize. I think that we're going to see a lot more stabilization this year. And as those rates stabilize, people are going to get more comfortable buying. with buyers, a lot of times when they're looking at the rates jump around, it's a little more. A lot of buyers are a little more cautious, understandably so, not wanting to jump into something if they don't know if the rates are going to shoot up. And so, like I was saying, as they're kind of settling and everything stabilizing, you're going to see a lot more buyers get off of the fence and start to be more proactive, and a lot more homes start to go under contract. And then it's always like a double-edged sword. When you see rates start to go up, you see, the prices, when you see the rates go up, rather, you see the prices. I'm getting it flipped around. Excuse me. When you see the rates start to come back down, you see the prices go back up.
Yeah,
because we've been seeing the prices come down for a while, but the rates are on the other flip side of that.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is an inverse relationship. And I think the big thing is, for me, Zet's not telling you, because he's not trying to sell you, is if you're on the fence, now might be a good time to get off the fence, because you don't want to be the kind of the woulda, shoulda, coulda, wish I'd bought in the first quarter of 2023 and say, hey, I'm going to wait till the end of 2023 to pull the trigger when things, have already kind of coming out of that trough area, potentially, as we see things stabilize, especially in our market in Colorado Springs. A lot of economic activity, a lot of growth here, both, with the DOD, the military, and just a quality place to live. But I think all things being equal, we're not in this like crazy flux of, COVID any longer, this abnormally low interest rate environment. Rates are not going to continue to skyrocket. We're not going to see, hopefully rates go from 5 to 8% this year. Again, if we're in that range of say 5 to 7%, it's something that someone can stomach. And with, seller concessions still being a thing, getting a rate in between 4 and 5% is even doable. So that being said, none of us have a crystal ball. I think if you make wise decisions and you understand that, hey, depending on the market that you're in, we're potentially in for a soft landing, not a massive, 2010, like, real estate bubble. Make good decisions, pick the right partners, continue to get educated. If you have specific questions, either on your market, different price points, right, that can affect things, drop them in the box below. I'm excited about 2023, man. A more normal market, a great market for first-time home buyers, getting in the market, investors. Sellers can sell, buyers can buy, and I think we'll get out of that kind of that stagnation that we were in the third and fourth quarter, and be able to see a lot of activity, both in our market and your market out there. So if you do have questions, drop them in the box below. We're gonna have some cool guests coming on in 2023. I was a big Jordan fan, so we're excited about that, and excited about keep coming to you guys live, every Tuesday, 12 Mountain Time. We're gonna see you here with ZET in the Dome. What are the final thoughts, ZET?
Well, my final thoughts, just as we're starting out a new year, a lot of people are doing resolutions and everything, and kind of what we're talking about, the statistic is somewhere around 75% of people think about buying or selling their homes or buying a new home in the new year. And so that's why we're talking about this, is we know a lot of people are considering that. And what I would urge is just to know kind of where you're at and what the resources are available to you, because with what we're talking about and with the way the market is, there's really a lot of great opportunities out there if you are considering buying in the near future. And if you're looking at selling, there's buyers out there who are buying right now. We're seeing a lot more life, as it is already in the market, seeing a lot more life. And I know it's going to be a good year. I feel it's going to be a good year. And wherever you are at in life, we'd be happy to help if there is any way that we can. And we just want to wish you guys the greatest 2023, all the greatest that life has to offer. And so just wishing you the best. And so that's where I would like to end it, in my final thought.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we'll see you next week here on House Talk with ZET in the Dome.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
See you soon.